without borders, engineering, innovation for Aruba's next generation. Please welcome Jairzinno Henriquez.
There you go. Wow, that's like my last slide. Can we go back? Guess what I'm going to talk about? All right, let's give this another try. Bom dia. I love that, that's good. Good morning. Oh wow, this is very cool. Buenos dias. Oh, this is so cool. I didn't imagine this. Okay, last one. Goedemorgen. Okay, now I'm off the rails already. Okay, cool, this is so great. Yes, this talk is going to be in English. I was actually going to make a joke with if I'm going to go to Dutch or not. But you all already went with me. Okay, this is cool. We all share this thing of speaking 4 languages, apparently. This is very cool. We are a group of people speaking these languages. And we also, clicker, yes, a group of people who love this island. And that is something that makes us a community. There it is. I'm very, very happy as well and proud to be part of this community. My name is Jairzinno Henriquez. I was born here on Aruba, and these days I live in Eindhoven, in the Netherlands. I live there and I work as a software engineer. I build complete solutions using Flutter and Google Cloud Platform. And besides those busy, hectic days, I am also a community organizer. I'm going to talk about that a little bit today. I'm having trouble with the clicker, but we'll figure it out. As a community, we have one different interest that we share as well. That's our youth, our next generation. We all want the best for our next generation. Growing up, I heard a lot of our youth going abroad, learning new skills, with the idea of bringing that knowledge back to the island, improving the island. And that doesn't always happen, though. Sometimes, for different reasons, things go wrong. And we sometimes question what are the other things, what are the other options that we can provide for these youth to stay here, provide the island a better chance, give the island a better chance, and going forward in a different way. To me, as a software engineer, that would be technology. And not just AI, because that's the buzzword we are here every day now. There's more than AI, and just to point out there, AI is not going to replace you. Yes, I said it. Once you have an idea, there's many things that need to be done. There are many phases that we go through. And for all these phases, for all the things that we do, there are different people needed to get this thing, whatever idea you have, to bring that to the market. So for all of these things that we do, we need people, and these people have different roles. And if you look at what's in demand, you have different kind of roles. So imagine you have a new idea, and you want to have a new brand or something. You're going to need a graphic designer to design this brand for you. From there, you're going to need something like screens. People have to interact with this product of yours. So we used to have just UX, like the user interface designer. But then we got to voice chats, so now we got voice engineers. And these days, with all these prompts, even prompt engineering, I guess. Not my word, but hey, it's out there. Then you want someone to actually visit your website. You need your online presence, so then you need web developers. Something that I do as well. You have to build an app if you want to. Someone, we all have these phones, so we all have apps that we want to use. Go a little bit high tech. Once you want to measure air pollution, the quality of your soil and everything, you're going to You need people who knows how to build embedded solutions as well. Putting all these things together, you're gonna need somewhere to store this data. That's what you do with the cloud. You bring different infrastructures together as well. And on that cloud, you're gonna store your data. Once you have that data, then you want to actually know, like, okay, based on this data, which decisions should we take? Then you get to the part of AI, using that data. And then we have this human thing that we have to do. We have to verify that what we've built actually works. That's where we have testers. And then tying it all together is where we have management. Are we going to deliver on time? Those kind of things. Now you might look and say, like, okay, cool, I can be a graphic designer, I can be an app developer, and that would be cool, I can be part of this. But there's one thing that's very important in all of this: collaboration. You need to be able to talk to each other. You need to look at someone in the eye and be able to see, like, hey, you may say this, but actually I think you're actually meaning this, actually. You want to say something else. That's the thing also AI cannot do for you yet. So collaboration is very important. So say you want to go into this direction. You want to do something with technology. You want to go into this thing called a career. It's not a job, it's a career. How would you get started? What would you do? How do you get into this thing that you're comfortable with, being able to contribute to this community as well? Let me step back and say a little bit of thing about what I've been through, how I got here. So you can see, like, okay, different steps that I've taken, but things that I've learned that I can share. And you can see, like, well, it wasn't exactly the same for me, but could be something that can take some things away from. I'll start with early days and go on to early career. Going to be a little bit vulnerable in this part. Mind you, this is like my inner storyteller telling you this. So this is how I saw things and witnessed things. I grew up in Bokstel, place close to Eindhoven, where I live now. And as they say, poverty is different for everyone else. It impacts everyone else. I had my own impact as well, and I was raised in a house that I would say was poor, no money. Later on, I actually found out that we were living in debt. What I remember most was like moments when I would walk to the fridge, and my mom would already say, "Tina, de frikandel, baby awa." There's nothing in the fridge, drink water. Those things stuck with me, because it was like always like, hey, there's this thing, like, I see other people going forward. The funniest thing, my friends were like living in the biggest houses in Bokstel. And there was this thing of shame, because there was also use of drugs in the household, domestic violence even. So there's always this tension. And aside of that, there was also this thing with the media always needed an enemy for some reason. These days, it's immigrants, refugees. After 9/11, it was the Muslims. And when I was growing up, it was me. For some reason, people from Suriname, Aruba, Curaçao, Bonaire, we were the bad guys. So that made me cautious of like, hey, if I do something wrong, there will be, zoomed out. People will look into that like, hey, this is one of those people again. So it made me cautious, and it made me look out for, like, be very respectful, well-mannered, not just because my mother taught me so, to be so, but also not to be the bad guy, to be easy to pick out. Luckily, what I did see were hardworking parents. So that was something that rubbed off on me. I'm very happy for that. Because with no money, there was this point as a teenager, I decided I needed to make money. So I started delivering newspapers in the morning, did my paper rounds. I started with 1, ended up with 5. That meant waking up 3:30 in the morning. I started at 4, delivered newspapers till 7 o'clock. Sometimes went back to bed other times I didn't. Directly went to school and added a job as a gas station after that. And actually that made me, because we had no money, I didn't have to rely on my parents. I could pay for my own school after that. So I paid my own vocation training, the MBO as we call it. Learned to become a system administrator. And a little bit of software engineering already there. And from there I went on to bachelor's software engineering with a minor of smart mobile, as they called it, which meant I knew how to build apps. And this was cool because this was just a few years in after the iPhone was launched. So we had just had this phase of everyone knew, like, we need a website. And now they went into this thing of like, hey, we need apps now. And here I was, just graduated with this degree saying like, I can build apps. So by Friday, I put up my resume. And Sunday, I would already start receiving emails like, hey, we want to interview you. Which was for me like, this is kind of cool. Who's looking out on Sunday for people? But anyway, so switched to early career. I graduated and I got this thing, this consultancy job, which allowed me to work at the NVWA, like the Food Authority in the Netherlands, building an app, an iPad app for the inspectors. From there I went on to Philips, actually SNS first, so like ASN Bank now, but it was 3 labels, the ASN, SNS, Regiobank. I was part of the team that rebuilt that app natively. Went on to Philips, Philips Hue, the first app that they had. And even to ING back then, after that. I was actually part of the team that built the payment request feature with Ideal. Fun fact, that same week that we wanted to launch that feature, Tiki was launched. People weren't happy, let's put it that way. So yeah, that gave me a lot of experience of like, what do you do, how do you work in different teams, what's needed to professionally release apps. So back to that career, how do you get started? How would you get started? It's funny because even though I went through at least 7 years of training, that first day on the job, they asked me, hey, here's your MacBook, install Git. And I was like, what's Git? That was a moment where I was like, okay, I went through 7 years of training, and the first thing they asked me, I don't know. What happened here? So this is what I want to say, like, you can get started, and you can read blogs, you can read articles, you can go through documentation and really get a gist of your framework. You can do online courses, side projects, which I very much encourage. You can do open source, because that's like where you can meet this thing of conventions, what the community out there says, like, hey, this is how we work. And you can get a job. But even then, when you do that, there's this thing, what I like to say, what I've seen, what I've told fellow junior colleagues. You gotta leave tutorial land. What I mean with that is that, what I've seen is that colleagues of mine would learn something on a YouTube video, see that thing and be like, okay, this is how I'm going to do it from now on. I've read this on this blog, this is how I'm going to do this from now on. But the thing is that once you get in this field, you will get requests of things that you've never done before. So you will be asked to go beyond that thing that you saw in the tutorial, what you saw in the YouTube video. So the thing is then, how do you apply that thing? How do you get to that piece of knowledge that you didn't have before and know how to apply it now for this new feature? That's this thing where you learn a lot, and like J. Cole says in his song, Love Yours, you came a long way. The good news is you came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way. So how would you prevent that? Who can help you prevent from going the wrong direction? To me, that's again, community. The thing is that at the community, when you go to the community, when you go to these meetups that we organize, there will be someone who actually might have the same problem that you have if you look into something. Someone who has the same problem, or someone actually went beyond that, already solved that. And the thing is that places where I've worked, it was even the case that going to these meetups was a requirement for you to get promoted. Even more so, getting that higher promotion, so going from senior to expert, had to be that you had to be invited to speak at these meetups. So these meetups, these communities will actually have the people who have these answers that you're looking for. So to me, that's like one of the places that you should go if you're looking for answers. For me, I had this thing, these days we have a word for it, FOMO. Interesting how these things go. I had these colleagues who came to the office one day, and they were talking about something that they had learned the day before. And eager as I was, like wanting to learn everything, they had this piece of knowledge that I just didn't know where they got it from. So I was like, what is this? Where did you get this from? And it turned out they went to some place that's called the Dutch Android User Group. And that was the first Google developer group that I met. The Google Developer Groups is a program by Google, and it's actually run by volunteers. It's a global program where people connect, and learn from each other about all these things that's Google-related tech. Frequent meetups, and they're all about Google tech, free. And there's this cool thing that we're guided by the Google community team. So every region has this region lead that we can connect to. So what's part of this guidance that we have? So we can actually have one-on-ones with people from Google when we want to talk about the things that we want to organize, these meetups that we want to organize. Google also has separate programs. So like at the end of the year, we always have DevFest. Painful subject for myself because we haven't been able to do it these past years. But it's very cool. We also have a program called Women Tech Makers, which I'll come back to in a bit, where we focus with International Women's Day on how we can get more women into tech, because it's been a lot of men so far. So we get these summits where they actually fly us up. We had this one in Berlin this year, where we have workshops and how to learn not only on the technical parts, but also on the social parts. How can you combine, how can you improve your meetups? How can you improve your marketing? How can you better reach out to other companies to, embrace the community? Excuse me. And as I said, they started out with the Women Tech Makers program, how to get more women into tech. And at that time, we had the Dutch Android User Group, and we had the G2G Cloud Netherlands. And there was this thing about the combination of the three, because saying that you want more women in tech, but you only have an Android user group, or you only have a cloud user group, meant to us like, hey, are we saying we only want women to be Android developers or only to be cloud engineers? And that wasn't the case, because we also wanted, if you wanted to be a web developer, you could be that as well. So we started this thing called the Google Developer Groups Netherlands to support all women as well, to be whatever they wanted to be in the community as a software engineer or in the field of technology. So who are we? We have this thing, this app, actually outdated a little bit, founded in 2017, with over 1,300 meetups, members, and we strive to have monthly meetups about Google Tech. Wow, there's something I forgot to say here. This community has brought me a lot. People in this community have become people who've attended our meetups many times, multiple times, and to me they've become friends, actually, because not only do we share this interest of technology, we collaborate, we talk about things that we go through because we see each other, we keep seeing each other. And there's another thing that these communities have And that's this place where we can communicate and talk online. And for every community that I've seen that I've been to, they've all had these channels where you can talk to, so you can get remote, you can combine and connect remotely as well. And there's this thing with being remote is that COVID has showed us we can work and study from home, so we can also connect from home. And as we already saw just now, we all speak 4 languages. So in that, there lies an opportunity for us as Aruba. We can go Latin America, we can go across the ocean, and we can actually connect to everyone around us and be a community that can work from home and still be abroad. We can be that community. So what I would like to ask you, as I did before, is to participate, be part of this community, help this community. As I did myself in 2017, I went to this meetup, actually a Google event, which was in Eindhoven, which is a rare case because everything happens in Amsterdam for some reason. I went there, and something I didn't tell you was during my training, during my education, 7 years, one thing that made me feel lonely was the fact that I never saw anyone from Aruba, Curacao, during my studies. It was just me, and I was like, am I the only one doing this while I'm from Aruba? So going to this event, there was this thing. What happened was that Jean-Pierre was there, and when he said that he was from Aruba, this thing happened. This is like, wait, for real? Are you for real? So we connected, and in all honesty, ever since then, we've been talking weekly still. And us being from Aruba and wanting to do something for the island, me having a connection with GDG already, we started this thing called GDG San Nicolas. And we actually really want something to happen with this thing. So I would ask you to join, share your knowledge where possible, be there if you want, go there, learn from others, and very importantly, everyone is welcome. Second one I skipped purposely, and that's host. To the companies able, please open your doors to this community. It could be as simple as just open your doors, give the space to the people that need it. Share a pizza if you want, although we have better food here. Yeah, that's something that I want to say. Just be part of that community there. Once you're there, as they say, you can only help others and go beyond for others once you've taken care for yourself. I would say, let's see what we can do for Aruba. Let's find challenges. Let's find people we can work together with. And, as you already saw, let's create something you didn't know you needed. Because that's, to me, that's the real innovation. Let's be part of a great community together. Thank you.